Good evening and welcome to Telford Ice Rink for tonight's ice hockey action. The Telford Tigers take on the Bracknell Bees. The two teams faced each other in Hampshire last night and it was the Bracknell Bees that were victors 5-3. We'll see how the Tigers get on tonight after a chat with coach Tom Watkins. So tonight against Bracknell, the bench was fairly short last night with various suspensions and injuries. What's the strategy going into tonight's game?
Well, we're struggling. Obviously we're on a poor run of form at the minute. Coincides with the number of key guys missing from the lineup. We've got 3 guys tonight that'll give it a go. Scott, Jason and Brandon are all heavy doubts really, but they're still out there now towards the back end of warm-up, so hopefully that's a good sign. If they're not able to go, I've brought 2 guys up from the second. We've got numbers, it's quality, there's the areas that we've got to find.
Looking at the stats of last night's game, you were playing catch-up a little bit. They went 3-0 down, they brought it back, but then it looked like Bracknell changed gear in the third.
I think we've got to find a way of sustaining or find a lead and sustaining that for a period of time. I think we've been guilty of getting up and allowing the team to come back quite quickly, so we haven't settled that well. We've been playing and making some errors in our own D zone. It's confidence, it's belief, and I think the sooner we can get those things back and just come out, play hard and instill some of that in the group, we'll be fine.
Good luck with tonight's game.
Thank you. Cheers.
Good evening and welcome to Telford Ice Rink for tonight's ice hockey action as the Telford Tigers take on the Bracknell Bees. Down in Hampshire last night, the two teams played each other and it was Bracknell that came out victors. The game started and so at one stage Bracknell were 3-0 up against the Telford Tigers, but then they pulled it back to 3-3 by the end of the second, and another 2 goals from Bracknell in the third period resulted in a Bracknell victory over the Telford Tigers. We were talking prior to the game to Tom Watkins about availability of players, injury and where we were sitting, and in reality Tom said it was a bit of an uphill battle with the number of players that he has available to him. So, starting lineup for the Telford Tigers include at centre Jason Silverthorne, right wing Dan Mitchell, left wing McKinnon, Florian and Rose. So you've got Silverthorne at centre, Dan Mitchell on the right wing, Florian on the left wing, McKinnon in D with Rose. For the Bracknell Bees, Smith on the right wing, McNulty on the left wing, 34 in the centre. And in defence for the starting lineup, you've got 55 Ross Kennedy and 94 for the Bracknell Bees. That's your starting lineups. So, puck goes deep in the end zone. Mitchell tries to tip it out into the slot. Bracknell send it round the boards in their defensive end, and already a player is down after a hit on the wall, clutching at his head. So we'll wait and see if there is a decision made here, but there was a heavy hit on the wall some 13 seconds into the game, and Mitchell is down on the ice. He's in. Oliver's the only man back, but Taylor comes in to cover the defensive play. Oliver off the wall, and a penalty for interference is assessed on number 77, Scott McKenzie. So McKenzie picks up a 2-minute minor penalty for interference, giving Bracknell an end zone face-off and the first power play of the game at 1 minute and 42 seconds. So Telford on the penalty kill, Bracknell on the power play. Goes to the back of the net, passed up to Steed on the right wing. He'll drive through. Watkins takes the puck off him. Jack Watkins turns up ice, 2-on-1. 2 defensemen back. Watkins tips it forward. McKenzie comes through, shoots just high to the left side. Another attempt from Whistle, who up to D. Oliver shoots. Stick save. Whistle picks up the rebound. Puts it across into centre ice. Galazzi skates forward. Hits the blue line. Just dumps it end to end. Day deflects the puck and then covers it up as the forechecker from the Bracknell Bees was stood over him waiting to see if he'd get a piece of the puck, but it's not to be. Pretty much end-to-end, neither team look like dominating the game at the moment. Bracknell certainly coming out, hitting hard in that first 13 seconds with that big hit on Dan Mitchell. And of course the theory behind that is throw an early hit and just unnerve the players a little bit, particularly if they've got a short bench. But at the moment it's very 50-50 now. Bracknell Kennedy on the point, tries to trap the puck in, but it bounces over the blue line. It's into neutral ice. Kennedy under pressure from the Bracknell players. Webb picks it up, passes it back, which causes delayed offside. The linesman's arms in the air, but Telford play the advantage. Lords passes through on the right side to Silverthorne, tips it into the middle to try and find Joe Ashton, but it goes down, and Bracknell pick it up now. Webb tips it out to Milton. Webb chases the blue line. Shot comes in from Nags, goes round the wall. Goodison, D-to-D pass. Stretch pass to Howells, beautiful pass onto the stick. Howells delays, backhands it round to McKenzie. Cycles back round to Howells, chip in the air. Puck's picked up by Malik. Skates in, shoots to the right, slightly wide to the right post, but Brad Day's pad was there to save the day. And deflects from a stick check from McKinnon, preventing it going anywhere near the net. Telford now breaking it out. Silverthorne up to Florian on the left wing, backhands it down into the end zone. Webb comes from behind and finishes his hit, and that was a sly play because Florian had already released the puck as he was chased up from the back and then just chipped out of the play, and Florian was clueless that play was coming from young Webb, who was battling up to try and clear the puck out. Smith up to the top of the slot, backhanded back down by Jack Watkins. No, sorry, Brodie Jesson, who's out on the ice. Puck deflects up off Jack Watkins' stick. Sam Watkins picks up, skates forward, carries the puck out, hits the blue line, hits the red line, carries it over, passes to Howells. Finn Howells makes the shot into the body of the netminder, who freezes it down for a stoppage in play. But a good play from the young line. Jack Watkins, Finlay Howells and Sam Watkins. Sam from the junior development system. Finlay Howells, 17 years old. Jack Watkins is the veteran of that line as they drive forward and give Telford Tigers a scoring opportunity. 12 minutes gone in the first period. Of Nags, it runs on, and Silverthorne plays the puck up to the point. Rose makes a shot, and it deflects from the foot of Martin, who saw it hobbles back towards the bench. Bracknell will play in a short-handed box, but Martin struggling, and a goal from Jason Silverthorne. The puck is generated to Jason just to the left of the post and tucks it in behind Goss, the Bracknell Bees netminder, and the first goal of the game goes to Jason Silverthorne. A power play goal, 28 seconds into the power play, converted, goal timed, 14 minutes and 50 seconds into the first period, and the Telford Tigers take the lead here in Shropshire tonight. Silverthorne finishes the goal, getting behind the netminder, between the netminder and the post. A tight angle power play goal for the Tigers. 1-0. All legal and above boards. Bracknell pass it through. Gabra picks up the puck, goes through. Lord holds him up, pulled him back from number 29, Milton, who shoots, and it just drifts past Brad Day, and it's the Bracknell Bees that level things up on 8 minutes and 12 seconds. It was Milton that went through. The pass found its way through. He tried to poke it in Brad Day's direction. It was quite a slow trickle over the line, but it's enough to put the Bracknell Bees on the score sheet. 1-1 the scoreline, with 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining in the first period here at the Telford Ice Rink. There's a bit of a rugby scrum. Silverthorne picks up the puck on the wall, bounces it off, and a skate down from Florian. Florian gets it. Joe Ashton comes in the high slot, calls for the puck, it goes through. Silverthorne shoots and scores! An excellent goal! Florian sets up the puck. Joe Ashton calls for it on the front left-hand side, but Florian sees Silverthorne driving it on the right side, hits the blue line, drives over, the pass comes right through, straight on the blade of the stick, and a one-timer into the top right-hand corner, beating the unaware netminder that was more conscious of Ashton's positioning, and a beautiful goal from the Telford Tigers. 19 minutes and 6 seconds, the Telford Tigers put them a goal in front. 2-1 the scoreline, and that's what Tom Watkins will want going into the period break. Round the back of the net, there's a bit of a battle on the wall. Howell sends it round the wall, and Lord tries to poke and clear the puck, but Steed's battling for it. There's some pushing and shoving on the wall there. 17 seconds. Now, the referee will want the puck to be played and keep it moving. I think the players will be quite happy for a stoppage in play, and as long as the referee can see the puck, they won't stop it, because if a player deliberately freezes it, it's a penalty. So the objective is to play the puck out as the 2 seconds tick by, and the hooter goes, and the end of the first period. Telford Tigers 2, a beautifully executed 5-on-5 even-handed goal with less than 2 minutes in the period, and a power play goal of the 2 goals from the Telford Tigers, and a lucky bounce and shot goes in from the slot from the Bracknell Bees. Martin exchanging a few words towards the Telford bench as they head off the ice. And at the end of the first period, it's Telford 2, Bracknell 1. Welcome back to the second period. 2-1, the Telford Tigers lead as the game gets into the second period, and off the face-off, it's Bracknell that win the draw. Mogg heads up to the blue line, sends the puck round the wall. Bit of a battle on the boards as Bracknell try and clear it out, but now carried out by Florian. Circled by Ashton, picks up the puck, shoots into the body, the puck drifts underneath the netminder, and he sits back on the puck, covers it up, and the referee indicates no goal to be scored. But the Telford Tigers went underneath the netminder, and as he toppled backwards and covered up the puck and hoped to freeze the play down, it was very nearly a Telford Tigers goal on just 15 seconds into the second period. And that kind of momentum, if the Telford Tigers can capitalise it and put a couple of goals in, that'll stand them in good stead going forward in the game. Driving up the left side, Martin, he almost slowed down and wusses out of the incoming Telford hit there as the orange and black shirt makes its way towards Telford, finishing their hits and definitely dominating the game at the moment. Watkins drives round, tries for the wraparound, deflects off the skate of Nags, pushed across to Whistle, who lets the shot go first time. The Bracknell netminder comes up with a save. Galazzi tries to clear it off the wall, but already Telford organised, passing through. Silverthorne makes his way in and lets a rocket of a wrist shot go from the high slot area, and the netminder crouches his shoulder round the puck. The puck drops into his catching mitt, and it's a save. But Telford's momentum and organisation of passes is tremendous at the start of this second period, if you compare it to how they came out for the first period. Telford Tigers, McKinnon bounces off the wall. Silverthorne passes into the corner. Ashton picks it up, tries to curl around the top, but a penalty coming. So Telford got a power play. Brad Day makes his way over to the bench. Netminder freezes the puck. Florian skates in, and the Telford Tigers have a 2-minute power play. Their second of the game. The first power play, they converted to a goal in just 28 seconds. So can Tom Watkins' men do that again as the Telford Tigers take their second power play of the game against the Bracknell Bees? 23 minutes and 14 seconds into the game. Curls at the top of the circle, keep the distance between him and the defensive player for the Bracknell Bees. Passed across the back of the goal, the netminder's save, pushes the net off as he comes across, and the Telford Tigers gained momentum, but the shot just went wide to the right of the post, so didn't convert into a goal. But Telford, on 28 seconds of this power play, looking very dominant as they control the position of the puck, keep Bracknell away from it, and are getting some shooting opportunities away. Off the draw, Watkins back to Goodison. Goodison passes up ice. Whistle just bats it down, and Nags will pick up the puck, carry it around the back of his net, and it's deflected off the boards, and he plays it right into the feet of the referee. He'll get a little frustrated. Turnover from Whistle, passes through to Watkins. There was an empty net, but he just couldn't get the wood to the puck to put it in the back of the net. But a brilliant play, drawing the defenseman away from the play, passing it into the slot, but the stick of the netminder was to impede, and unfortunately Whistle and Watkins weren't able to finish what would have been a beautifully executed play. Now Bracknell turning the power on. It was clear enough to see it. The player coming on cannot touch the puck till the leaving player has left the ice. The referee deemed that to happen. Whistle, stick handles in, tries to put it in on the backhand. It deflects from the netminder's pad into the corner, and Doherty plays the body of Brandon Whistle. So Tom Watkins will be keen to keep as many guys on the ice as he can, not only for tonight's game, but games going forward. Now, through centre ice, Webb tries to take out Silverthorne, and now it's gone in front of the bench. There was a hit placed on 23 from McKinnon. It was deemed to be late. The Bracknell players grabbed at him, and now there's some pushing and shoving in front of the Bracknell bench. Silverthorne going in to aid and assist, but now there's a few cheap shots coming in from the bench, and the referees need to get the players away from the bench so they can assess the penalties and deal with it. 23 for Bracknell remains on the ice, just waiting attention. That was the initial hit that resulted in a Bracknell player stepping up, and I think McKinnon is ejected from the game. So we were just saying about Telford Tigers needing as many players as they can for the duration of the game, and McKinnon has now been ejected for the game. So whatever the call is, it means it looks like the Telford Tigers will be sitting a minimum of a 5-minute penalty kill, which could hurt Tom Watkins' men here in Telford tonight. Let's see how they assess it and what penalties will be given by the referees. They'll wait for the player to receive any treatment that he may need to receive before making the decision. But it's clear that McKinnon has been ejected from the game. Tom Watkins now just having a chat to some of his players, strategically deciding how he's going to line up, how he's going to kill this penalty. If it's a 5-minute major penalty, that means regardless of how many goals are scored, Telford will stay short-handed for the full 5 minutes. We're halfway through the game, so that will mean the full penalty will be served during this period. So it will mean a lot of intensity. Now, the Bracknell player has also been ejected from the game. So the 2 penalties could go coincidental and mean that they may not sit. So a player has now been ejected from the game from both sides, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out penalty-wise. But at the moment, 2 players, 1 from each side, have gone. Whether there are any more penalties to come, I will wait to see what the referee's calls are, and the medics are still attending to the Bracknell player in front of the bench where that initial hit went in that resulted in McKinnon's being kicked out of the game. So let's wait and see how this is going to pan out. We're at the halfway mark of the game. Telford are 1 goal to the good, 2-1 the scoreline, 31 minutes and 48 seconds. Loose puck. Carries it up in front of the bench, passes up to Goodison, but it was just a little bit ahead of the stick, so it ran on, deflected off the boards. Goodison's the man back there, and there was a little bit of a miscommunication between Goodison and Florian. As Goodison was hit then by Webb, he bounced off the boards, and then the Bracknell player turned his back. Florian finished the hit, and the referee called the whistle. Now, he's called it for cross-checking. He hasn't called a hit from behind, and I think Florian was frustrated he was going to get a hit from behind because as he went to the boards, he turned his back. Now, Florian would argue that he knew the hit was coming, but the penalty is for cross-checking, not hitting from behind. So he didn't get suckered into the punch, but the referee deemed that 2 hands are in the stick goes into the body, so a 2-minute minor penalty for cross-checking. But I think the Bracknell player was rather hoping to draw a check from behind and get a greater penalty for Florian. But still, the Bracknell Bees pick up their 3rd power play of the night, and how they choose to play it, let's wait and see. Goes up to the slot. Nags takes a little bit of time, looks to get it down low. Galazzi turns his back on Rose. Milton sends it round the boards. And Telford, once again, playing that disciplined box, allowing Bracknell to move the puck round the barrier, but not allowing it anywhere near the slot in front of the goal, which is where all the danger's done. Watkins, Plant putting pressure on the puck carrier. Watkins picks it up, passes it forward to Plant, picks it up on his forehand, curls inside, winds up, passes to the back post to Jack Watkins, who let the shot go. It went into the pads of the netminder, but a beautiful pass from Rick Plant across to Jack Watkins on his way, pulls the netminder across, but a kick out from the right foot of the netminder, allowing his pad to kick out like a pinball paddle on a game, just saved the Bracknell Bees from their third Telford Tigers goal. Shot comes in, blocker save. The arm lifted from the netminder, deflected the puck away and got on it, preventing Telford from clocking up their third goal. Lord loses his foot through centre ice. Silverthorne locks out with Galazzi just in front of the slot area. Pass forward from Goodison. Silverthorne on the backhand. Florian goes in, works hard, regains possession of the puck. Out stick handles Bracknell, comes across, gets the shot between the bodies. Bracknell make the save, the deflection drops to Joe Aston, who winds up for the shot, and Bracknell's netminder collapses on the puck. Two good opportunities there. So, Telford off the draw. Silverthorne wins it back. Jack Watkins to Florian, forward to Silverthorne. Bracknell a mile offside, but there's no linesman on the line. There's a bit of confusion there, but luckily Telford turned the play out and just deflected out, but some communication misunderstanding between the two linesmen meant the blue line was uncovered, and the Bracknell player, although he dragged his leg, was clearly offside on that offensive play. But luckily for Telford, nothing was to come of it. Catching Mick, scooped the puck up, and now Bracknell have got 30 seconds on this power play in an attempt to convert it. But great work rate from the Telford Tigers, creating that defensive box and again putting pressure on the players on the blue line. But this time, Bracknell successfully getting it into the end zone. Look for a cross-ice pass. Gabra. Block comes in, it goes to the back post, and it's a goal. It was assisted by Gabra. Just the goal scorer's he's looking at me, so I can't see the name on the back of his shirt. It's number 65 for the Bracknell Bees. That was the goal scorer. 55, Steed, was on the back post. Gabra looked up, lined the shot up, passed it into open space on the back left-hand side and chipped it in behind Brad Day. So the first penalty power play conversion comes from the Bracknell Bees. That makes the score 2-2 with 12 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the game. If it's a tied game, it'll go to overtime and penalty shots. And, of course, Tom Watkins will want the win in regulation time. He's got quite a narrow bench due to injury and suspension, and the last thing he'll be wanting to do is play longer than he has to get the result he's looking for. But now the Telford Tigers need to shift momentum back in their direction, get themselves a goal and own this game again as they continue to pressure the play and not losing momentum or losing the puck. Finlay Howell's now pressuring the puck. Jack Watkins leans in. Goodison, backhand dropped back to Florian. And pressure from Bracknell, get a turnover. Smith makes the shot and a blocker save from Brad Day. Saved the day for the Telford Tigers. 2-2 with 10 minutes and 52 seconds to play in regulation time. If Alan Gould watches these highlights, they're playing your tune, mate. Into the high slot, looks for the shot, cocks up, onto one leg, shoots, the puck's loose, Plant's digging at it, and Bracknell successfully clear it out into neutral ice. Another chance presented to the Shropshire side. Plant desperate to try and get the stick onto the puck, but Bracknell, the luck fell with them as they chipped it out and cleared it over. 50 seconds with the extra man for the Telford Tigers and an offside assessed. Bracknell Bees fans starting to make a noise from the end block here at the Telford Ice Rink as Silverthorne drives down the left side, leans in, pulls it across the netminder, shoots, the save comes down, the puck's loose in the slot. It's Florian that picks up the puck, drives round the wall. Bracknell desperately trying to push and shove the Telford Tigers against the bench, against the barrier to keep them away from the slot, but Telford Tigers once again looking dangerous on the 5-minute 8-second mark remaining in the game. If it's tied, it goes to overtime. Deflecting from the backhand of Silverthorne. Telford Tigers take a line change. We're on the 5-minute mark. Finlay Howells gets the turnover. Lord shoots from the slot and a pad save, kicks out like a paddle on a pinball machine, kicking the puck away from the goal. But again, another noble attempt from the Telford Tigers. Oliver from Gabra stepped up. From Lord in defence, put through to the right side. Plant drives through, caught up in the lines, and Plant still got the puck, puts it through to the slot. McKenzie shoots into the body of the netminder, and if he could have found the net then, that would have sealed it. And you can see Scott McKenzie with his stick above his head taking a deep breath, knowing that was an opportunity to seal it for the Telford Tigers. With the time sitting on 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. A great opportunity for the Telford Tigers. It's their game at the moment, but they've just got to orchestrate it and execute that final goal. 11 seconds of regulation time. 2-2's the score, so it'll go to overtime if there isn't a goal in the next 11 seconds. Goodison plays the puck down the wall. Overtime in this league, 3-on-3. 3 players from each team will play golden goal. And there's the final buzzer. 2-2 the final score between the Bracknell Bees and the Telford Tigers. We go to 3-on-3 overtime. So Tom Watkins will select which 3 players will start the game. 5 minutes. First goal is the winner. If there's no goal in the 3-on-3 overtime, it goes to penalty shots. So let's see what 3-on-3 brings as the Telford Tigers take on the Bracknell Bees in overtime. There's a drive back there as Danny Rose gets his body in front. Florian's the back guy back. The pass comes through. Steed in the middle. The offside's washed off. Danny Rose gets back and deflects the puck into the corner. It goes back to Bracknell to set up, and that was a good defensive play from the Telford Tigers 3. Now, Gabra cuts inside of Taylor, puts under the back post, but Bracknell unable to get a stick to it. Now Florian's on the break. Taylor's with him. Head down. Gritted teeth. Drives in. Florian shoots. Goes for the top corner. Deflected away by the netminder. And now Gabra's got a clear break on goal. Goodison skates back. Gabra cuts inside. Backhands it. And it goes underneath Brad Day. And crosses the line. The Bracknell Bees get an overtime goal with 3 minutes and 2 seconds into overtime. So on 63 minutes and 2 seconds, the Bracknell Bees on the breakaway. Gabra cuts across the middle. And the puck just bobbles underneath Brad Day, and it's the Bracknell Bees that pick up an overtime win. Telford Tigers will get 1 point from that, but Bracknell will pick up 2 points from the overtime golden goal, and such disappointment in the Telford Tigers fans as you could hear a penny drop. A great effort from the Telford Tigers, and Bracknell Bees just capitalising on that opportunity to pick up the 2 points from an overtime win here at the Telford Ice Rink. Thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to everybody involved in the production of the YouTube highlights, including Lewis Webb, Kieran Wellings for the Telford Tigers.
A hard one to swallow with that overtime loss, but generally a good game.
I don't know. I can't be happy with a loss. Never can be. Not with a point going into this weekend. It's been I said last night, pretty solemn room tonight as well. I think we expect better, we hope for better. I don't think our performance through the first period was good enough. Second and third, we created some good chances. Guilty of not taking those opportunities, and you're in a place where you allow a team to come back. We've got a lot of guys playing through certain stuff, and you're asking them to play a lot of minutes and key roles, and it's the quality guys that we're struggling for. So you're kind of on the back foot a little bit, but I think from a team point of view, we got to be better. From our goaltending through our D, through our forwards, we just got to be better and give ourselves a better platform. You get on this little slump that we've got on, it comes about more mental attitude than anything else, and guys start to grip the stick a little bit harder. They play a little bit nervous. They don't want the puck in key areas, and you can see that at the moment.
Because momentum counts for a lot in a game like this. We talked before the game about the number of players available to you. Dan Mitchell went off with an injury early doors. You've got a player out on a match penalty. This isn't going to help going forward, is it?
No, but it's roll with the punches. You've got to think on your feet. You've got to make sure that you've got plans A, B and C, I suppose, at all times. I think we've got numbers. We're not guilty of not having numbers. It's the top-end quality guys that are struggling to play at anywhere near their level, really. But it's just frustrating. We don't want to lose, and I don't want to stand here making excuses. I felt today Bracknell came in first period. I thought they were excellent. They really put us on our back foot, and I think that's happened over a course of a few weeks, really, against teams. I think we've got guys in there that need to be better, and I criticise my team when they need to be criticised, and individually I don't think we're playing anywhere near the level that we've shown pre-Christmas, and we've got to get there, got to get back there quickly.
And what we've seen from this league this year is there's a very narrow margin between top of the league and bottom of the league, and any night, if you perform, you can come away with some points.
Absolutely, it's a tough league, it's a good league, it's an entertaining league, and every team in the league have got players that can make you hurt. And you look at Leeds, you look at Bracknell, they're fighting for their lives to get into the playoff spot, and credit to them, they've done a great job when we've come up and faced these guys.
You've got a very heavy schedule coming up in the next few weeks as well, with the cup games going on a Friday and a Wednesday. You've got your usual weekend fixtures. It's quite an ask, isn't it, going into the next month?
Well, it is, and you sit where we sit, and everybody wants to shoot you down. Simple as that. We've got a lot of games, a lot of hockey coming up, and it's going to be tough. And guys are going to have to suck it up and grind it out. And I think that's the key to any team that has success. The team that are the grittiest will normally be the most successful.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.